Hello, my cute and lovely Capricorns. This is your horoscope for 2025. Happy New Year. 2024 went so fast. I cannot even believe that we're already at 2025. Now, 2025 is set to be middle year when we will get a trailer, sort of hints. It's sort of flashback to what's going to happen in upcoming 2026 and 7 to 10 years. Exactly. Universe is setting stage for the next 7 to 10 years. And 2025 will be a lot of movement. Like it's such a special year when we get all the planets moving. And if you think that all those slow moving planets take from 7 to 20 years to change one sign, it's extremely rare this kind of year when we have all these planets changing sign, plus and all the personal planets like Venus, Mars, and Jupiter, Mercury, they're all gonna retrograde in the same year. All this thing is 2025, such a packed year, but it's a sort of a short clip of what's to come in the next 10 years, my dear Capricorns. Now, for you, the most important will be Jupiter. Jupiter, first half of the year of 2025 will be in your sixth house, house of work. Since last year, June, from 2024, a lot of Capricorns have been transforming your work. It might be that you found a new, better, like paying work or better workplace, or your colleagues might have sort of changed to a better people, let's say, because Jupiter is planet of luck and abundance and prosperity and happiness. Seems like it was making all things possible for you to make your work more enjoyable. As Capricorn's hardworking sign of the zodiac, Jupiter is already making these things even more for you, like milder and enjoyable. Not even speaking that you enjoy it even without Jupiter, your work. Now, sixth house is also house of health and well-being. Jupiter here might have transformed your, let's say, how you view your like well-being and daily routine. For example, if before you've been, let's say, going out a lot, been social, Jupiter actually might give you here vice versa, like more being in touch with yourself, with your inner self, and paying more attention to what's valuable, meaning your health, how you spend your day from morning to evening, with whom you communicate, with whom you socialize, how often you socialize. All these things could have been like as a prosper area for you, because Jupiter was expanding there. And for some of you, it's vice versa. Jupiter, because the planet, whatever it touched makes it bigger, might have actually made more like bigger, more colorful your daily life, like going out more, socializing more, all these things. Plus, sixth house is house of health. Some of you guys might have gained weight because Jupiter might give weight because it's a planet which makes full, which makes bigger things. And the sixth house is house of health and our physical body and all these things. It might have given you sort of a lot of weight, as an example, or vice versa. If lucky enough, you might have hit the gym, like taking your health seriously and being on a healthy lifestyle, start being on a healthy lifestyle and all these things. Now, first half of the year will be the same for you, and you will still have until June 9, all these things possible, even to change your job to a better one, to get promoted, also to, I don't know, to get another job offers if you've been wishing. These areas are all amazing. So go ahead and apply for the first 6 months of 2025. You will get luckier than any other zodiac sign there. Now, after June 9, when Jupiter moves into your seventh house, now that house is all about love. It's all about committed love and marriage. It's an amazing one. Now, you might think back to 12 years ago, like 2013. What was going on in your life? Now, Jupiter in your seventh house will stay for a whole year from June 2025 until June 2026. And at that period, a lot of Capricorns might get married, might get serious with their partners, like long-term love partners. It's not the ones that we start dated just now, but those who are already long-term together. And now you might decide to take a step further, like to get engaged or to propose. All these things might happen when Jupiter moves into this part of your life. The seventh house is also a house of all other people. You will be lucky actually with all the communication, all the people coming into your life, and even your enemies will be loving you sort of, because seventh house is a house of enemies too, that we know face to face. And you might think back, as I said, to 12 years ago, what was going on in your life back in 2013. Same things might happen now. Nothing exactly same in our life. It's more like a similar topics might come back. Like, for example, back in 2013, you met someone special, but now after like so long time, in a lot of countries, people don't get married, but now after so long time, like, you decided that after having kids and all this stuff, to celebrate your love and to get married with that person. As an example, this is just as an example. For example, back in 2013, you had a situation where you almost got married, but something went wrong, and that didn't happen, and now you will have same situation. Like, not like you will not get married, but this time you will get married, but the topic of like marriage will be again in your life, as an example too. Or you're gonna meet someone special, like here, when Jupiter transits your seventh house, my dear Capricorns. Now, let's talk about eclipses. That was Jupiter was your luck, where you have luck. So be active in around those areas of your life. Now about eclipses. Now eclipses, they happen. They bring things into our life that are not dependent on us. They're like rocket ships of the universe, like tools to utilize for universe, for us to move us to the right direction. And if they see that we are going wrong direction, it's a correction. It's a correction tool. And usually things happen abruptly, things happen suddenly, and we are in shock. And most of the time we don't like the changes. But you should remember one thing: when things happen in our life, this is all for better. On your eclipses, this is all for better, your being better self, and universe is trying to push you out of your comfort zone towards your destiny, because eclipses happen because of destiny nodes. They are also called lunar nodes in astrology, and they bring life-changing events once in a lifetime that happen, like destined events, and that we remember forever. Most likely. Now, January 29th, right from the beginning of 2025, we will have lunar nodes changing sign. Now, meaning eclipses will fall in another area of your life. These lunar nodes, they need a year and a half, roughly speaking, to change a pair of signs. Why pair? Because these nodes, they are always two. One is north node, second one is south node, and they're always opposite to each other. Always. And they're influencing two parts of your life, two signs at the same time, and bringing eclipses in those signs, in those areas of your life. Now, this time, from January onwards, it will be your third house and ninth house. This is an amazing place to have eclipses, because it's a house of, movement, house of movement of ideas, movement, like physical movement, traveling, immigration, like new social circle, new ideas, new thoughts, new topics, new people surrounding you, like expanding your world, sort of. Now, these lunar nodes, they come back to the same place as they were every 18 years. So you might think back to 18 years ago, what was going on in your life in 2007 and in 2008. Again, nothing is exactly the same, but similar topics might happen. And back in 2000, if you are at that age and if you're able to remember what was going on, it's amazing, because those things might sort of repeat. Now, 2007, 2000, like, I can tell you my story. As an example, when lunar nodes hit my third house and ninth house, exactly the same way. North node in my third house, south node in my ninth house. It was big for me. It was, I got admission to university to do my master's degree, and then I traveled the world. I traveled, I don't know, maybe 20 to 25 countries at that period. It was huge. You see, this is how, like, the movement axis, this line between these two houses, it's called movement axis, and it's sort of expanded my world through my university. It was a foreign university. I went to study abroad, and plus I lived there. I experienced new culture, new people, new language. I started learning new language also, because third house is about language, and ninth house is about education. It's about expanding your mind, expanding your vision to the world. Like, your window is getting bigger to the world. Sort of this thing might happen. And also, of course, travel, a lot of travel. It could be short distance, could be long distance, both. This is amazing amazing place to have lunar nodes. I love this when nodes are exactly in this place. Now, this was my story to give you as an example, but similar things might happen in your life too if you've been wishing to study, especially somewhere else, like abroad. You might start studying, you might apply to universities, you might start learning a new language, you might immigrate somewhere, like to travel somewhere. All these things might happen. Now, to give you like perspective, for the last a year and a half, now your lunar nodes, they were in your angular houses. Now that's very sensitive houses, 4th house and 10th house. And they are sensitive because they are one of the main lines in the chart, and they usually affect us the strongest. Since July 2023, it might have been that your home, like your citizenship, changed. You might have gotten, I don't know, a residence permit or long-term permanent residency or citizenship, like passport of another country. You might have acquired these things or applied, like you've been busy since July 2023 with all those documentations related to immigration, related changing the citizenship and your status in a different country, as an example. Some of you guys might have been busy a lot about real estate, like buying or selling, or how to say, like all things related to real estate, whether it's for yourself or as an investment, like dealing with paperwork, I don't know, fixing things, maybe rebuilding things or building a house, whatever is that, like, or buying, because eclipses, they were happening in your 4th house of real estate, and also citizenship, house of family. A lot of you guys got married or got divorced, vice versa, because it's a 10th house too. 10th house is about social status, and South Node was in your 10th house. Now South Node is all about loss, is all about past, and is all about something that we need to release, something we need to leave back, meaning your social status changed. For example, if you've been married, you got divorced, as an example. Like you got released, from the social status, those titles that we put around within bigger society. Or the same, if you've been employed, now at some point you might have been unemployed since July 2023 while eclipses were going on there. You had a lot of like situations related to your career, also to your social status, especially if you've been married, or for example, becoming parent was the possibility here too. Like a lot of you guys, like some of you guys might have had a kid now, have a kid since then, and have a new title as a parent, and your family got expanded, like number of people there, or your brother or sister got married, or they gave birth, like the number of people also got within your family, like more, let's say. And also 4th house is about your mother, and 10th house is about your father. A lot of some of you guys might have like been dealing with life of those people. Something might have been going on, like as an example, someone's health, so you need to take care of your mom or your father, or you've been busy because they were visiting you, or they were staying with you, or you were going back to home, stay with your parents since July 2023. Now these are all like examples how eclipses change, and affect us. So you should expect the same when they will start happening in 2025 in your movement axis. Now 3rd house and 9th house is all about education, as I said, is all about also legal. Around this period, I don't advise you actually to get into legal battle because with eclipses, it's never, you will never know, what will be the outcome, and to have even lawsuits, it's not advisable here. Now, to pursue an education is amazing. To open your horizon, like mind and physical, and also within yourself and spiritual, like search for life, like meaning is coming here. Traveling, some of you guys might start learning driving, for example, start driving a car or whatever transportation they're available. As an example, like you never driven a car, for example, but now when eclipses will fall, you might have to, because of your, I don't know, whatever situation, like you moved somewhere and there is no public transport, for example, and you need to drive a car, and you start learning driving car, or like because you someone bought for you a car as a gift, which is amazing, right? Now you need to drive a car. This is just as an example. Now we will have 4 eclipses in 2025, all of them amazing, except for the one which will be the last one, but that one we will have also help. Now First one will be 14th of March, lunar eclipse in your ninth house. Very positive surprise might happen here, but which will come with responsibility. But you will never fret from responsibility, my dear Capricorns. You are very willing and up to have and this hold this responsibility. So no worries here in terms of your zodiac sign, because 14th March will be super powerful sort of eclipse in your ninth house, which is about education, about travel, about immigration, or someone foreign might enter your life, which will be as a mentor, as a teacher. You might meet someone who you would want to follow as a best example. For example, ninth house is also about publishing book, publishing an article or research. If you've been working on that and around March you get published your work, that will be bestseller. Seems like you will have success there, my dear Capricorns. Ninth house is also house of grandchildren. If you are at that age, you might welcome your first grandkid or second grandkid around this day too. And also you might get granted your I don't know, residence permit, or something related to citizenship, like maybe you applied for travel visa, which is hard to get to some countries, and that visa might come like as a surprise, but then positive answer. Now 29th of March, we have second solar eclipse in your fourth house, which will be perfect one, perfect, and this one will happen in your family house. Seems like something like bubbling up in your family, which it will be great. Either your family is getting expanded, like number of people within your family. For example, your brother or sister might tell you they're getting married or they are pregnant, or actually to give birth, or either it's your situation, or fourth house is also house of mother, could be related to your mother. If you had, like, if your situation that there is a health problem or some problem or issues or some story related to your mother that was going on, this eclipse comes in and fix this to a very positive result. You might hear some good news around that. And also a lot of you guys might actually finalize your purchase or sell of a real estate, whether it's apartment or a new house, like new place, or just moving from one place to another and from one country to another too. Like your citizenship, you might get new passport of a new country if that's your case, my dear Capricorns. And this eclipse will be perfect one, 29th of March. September 7th, we have third eclipse, which will be lunar in your third house, super powerful. September is by far the best month of 2025. So whatever important you have planned for 2025, try to postpone it, push it until September if it's possible, because that will be an amazing period. Now, September 7th, we have a lunar eclipse in your third house, where we have also Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune at 1 degree, aligning friendly to each other from their signs that they will be occupying. And it's very rare event too, because just if you think, these planets, they take from 7 to 20 years to change sign. And what's the percentage of experiencing the moment when all of them at 1 degree of the sign, newly found, let's say they change their sign, all of them at once in the same year? This is crazy, mind-blowing, and it's amazing period, like perfect one. And at 1 degree, something beginning here. Now September 7th will be by far powerful eclipse in your third house. Now third house is all about like publishing, media. If you've been wishing, then this is your time to shine. Seems like you will have success over social media, like with your social page, like, I don't know, Instagram page, TikTok, whatever is that, like a podcast, because third house is all about communication, whatever you will be teaching, also teaching here, like you might become a best, I don't know, mentor, best teacher, whatever is that. You might receive something here. The third house is about courage. It's about bravery. Now, this eclipse has power to make you brave, to go after what you wanted all your life. For example, you always wanted to go swim, but you never tried. And now this will be the case when you finally might go and overcome and even find out that you are actually a good swimmer, as an example. Now, third house is all about skills, like new courses, learning new skills through short-term like courses or trainings, like I don't know, getting AI certification, whatever, coding, or driving, or you might actually buy a car here. Third house about transportation. Around September, you might get a new car for yourself, or you might sell it with a good price, as an example. Third house is also house of siblings, like your brothers, sisters, neighbors, relatives. And here they might have great news to share with you. Plus, it will affect you directly. It might be them who will be having life-changing transformations there, which will be very positive one. Or you might travel somewhere very short, distance, where you will love that place. Now, and the last eclipse, 21st September, we have solar one in your ninth house. Now, at this eclipse, your ruler, Saturn, planet like strict teacher, together with Neptune, which makes everything confusing, will oppose that eclipse. But no worries here, because as I said, that trio, Pluto, Uranus, and Neptune, which was at 1 degree and it's influential whole half year starting like September, will help. They will have you back. So no worries. Even if Saturn and Neptune will oppose, there could be some situation related to lawsuit that you won't like, but still you probably will manage how to solve that. But the result won't be as, how to say, rainbowish, happy to you if you have a lawsuit, as an example, or you might get involved in the lawsuit, but I don't advise you to do. Try to exercise patience here around 21st of September solar eclipse. And ninth house is also about education, and here if you if you fail to, I don't know, defend your thesis, as an example, no worries, you will always have second chances, right? Or someone might oppose you, like your professor, your teacher, with hard questions, trying, I don't know, to fail you or almost make you fail, let's say. So there will be some sort of tension and some situation which is not so much clear here. And if you travel somewhere around the solar eclipse, again, some things will be going sideways here. But no worries, exercise patience, my dear Capricorns. Now let's talk about slow-moving planets, because all of them, they change sign. Plus, they will give you short trailer, like hints, sort of what's to come, like sort of rehearsal, in 2026 and onwards until 10 years. Because that's how long they will be occupying one sign, That's why it's amazing year 2025. Now, from March until October, March 30th until October 22nd, Neptune, planet of magic, will move into your fourth house, will be giving you a sort of hints of what's to come in the next 14 years. Exactly. Neptune takes 14 years to change sign, to go from one sign to another. So get ready with Neptune during March until October. Take notes what will be going on in your life within your family area, because it's a family area, and Neptune will be back to this area of your life in January 2026 to stay as good as 14 years, my dear Capricorns. Now, Neptune is planet of magic, and here your family might, they might start seeming to you magical also. And time to time, Neptune has tendency to give us sort of a pink colored picture. Some things you might miss to notice in the next 14 years. So exercise discretion, exercise sort of logic, try to, try to see everything in their real life. But it will be hard with this Neptune in your fourth house, because fourth house, Neptune is planet of magic. It makes it everything romantic, everything mild, everything deceptive also, because Neptune is planet of liars too. Now, fourth house is also house of real estate. And again, here, in the next 14 years, if you will, I don't know, at some point, will try to buy a house or real estate or sell, vice versa. Again, check as much as possible that place, what you want to purchase or sell, or try to get advices from your lawyer, from whoever they're in power to help you with the checks of the apartment or the house, so not to get any disappointments there. Now, Neptune was in your third house for the last 14 years. So you might think back what was going on in your third house since 2011 and since 2012. So for the last 14 years, third house is all about communication. And Neptune here might have given you a lot of miscommunication or dubious meaning, let's say, to your words and in general to other people's words as how you perceive them. Because not that they were speaking something not clear, it's just your perception was sort of hazy, was sort of foggy, because Neptune like tends to do that. And also third house is all about languages. It might have been a bit harder to learn some language, to grasp some languages, let's say, in the last 14 years. Like never easy to learn, let's say. Now third house is also house of transportations and cars, and again here it might have been the case that you fell in love with the car because how it looks, how gorgeous, how beautiful is it, but then you bought that car and you got disappointed because, let's say, driving is totally different topic, right? Like feeling, whatever was the case, it's just examples, so Neptune was giving you this sort of things. Now at the same time, Neptune was positive also in your third house, as giving more milder, let's say, communication style, more easier talks, and more deeper talks also, like talks to spirituality, to psychology, and a lot of thoughts, also new ideas, because third house is all about what we talk with other people. And Neptune is deep, planet, more sensitive, more spiritual sort of. Now from May 25th until September 1st, we will have Saturn also giving you a little trailer of what's to come in the next 2 to 3 years. Saturn takes a shorter period in one sign, 3 years roughly speaking. So it will be back into your fourth house in 2026. Now you see, and Neptune and Saturn, they will be in your fourth house, but Saturn will be there from May 25th until September 1st to show you that together with Neptune, first 3 years, it will be balancing actually Neptune's tendencies to, decept and to see everything through pink colored glasses, let's say. Saturn is your ruler. So you know how it is. It's more strict. It's more, let's say, it gives proper perspective. It gives clear perspective. It's sort of sobering, Saturn, whatever it touches. It's sort of wake up calls. And here it will be balancing Neptune in your fourth house. So it seems like, and Saturn, planet of construction, and some of you guys might start building like a real estate, like a house or apartment, or some of you guys will do repair works, or I don't know, redesigning, whatever might be going on related to your real estate, or you might enter a real estate business, as an example. Fourth house is also house of family, and Saturn here might make a little bit harsh communication between your family, within your family, especially with your mother. But Neptune here is amazing because it will try to give more softer touch. It will be balancing at the same time, but still you might have this sort of situations of disagreement with your mother, as an example. Fourth house is also house of family, and here you might build a family, like get married, for example, because Saturn is about responsibilities, and it seems like it's giving you onto your shoulders some responsibility as a family. So either you might get married, either you have a baby and expanding your family, for example, because fourth house is an angle house, and it's not easy to host those planets there. And it's more, we feel them in a harsh way, in a sudden way, more on a like heavy way, let's say, responsibility way, and especially if that's Saturn. Now it will be making this square to your sun, my dear Capricorns. So you will all get even more wiser, more responsible, even more sort of older, kind of like old people, those wise old people, because Saturn is significated all these old and wise people. Now, since 2023, it was in your third house, Saturn. And for the last 3 years, you might have felt sort of strain. You might have felt shrinking your social circle, like making smaller, even smaller. Like Saturn makes it smaller, and third house is all about close friendship, close relationships, and they might have been gone from your life. Sort of isolation might have happened there for the last 3 years, since 2023, no matter the reason. For example, your friend, those like your best friends, they married, I don't know, they moved to some other country, or they, I don't know, found the love, they fell in love, and they are busy with their personal life. Whatever is the reason there. Or for example, your friend is working night shift and you're working day shift. I don't know. And, Saturn makes smaller the communication, or limited, sort of to non-existent almost. And it might have been the case that you felt yourself isolated and even with yourself most of the time. Now, Also, same with your siblings. It might have shrinked communication with your brother or sister. It might have made it harder, let's say, because third house is about siblings, about relatives, and also neighbors. If you have neighbors, then communication with them might have not been so well, let's say, for the past 3 years. Now, third house is also a house of transportation and any type of transportation. And Saturn is responsibility. You might have bought a car for within the last 3 years, let's say, as a like and being driving, let's say, or taking up a course of driving, for example, and a lot of like learning all other skills. But at the same time, it was limiting. Actually, it might have given you sort of a push. You need to try harder there. Try more like to extend your courage, to extend those willingness, your will, so that you take up that course, you finish it. Saturn loves these things. And it loves also hindering things, putting some obstacles, and that's what it was might have been doing. And you start how to say, trying harder. Let's say if you've been doing so, then Saturn will reward you when it will leave your third house around May 25th. Now, with some certificate or something. Third house is also a house of short distance travels, and Saturn here might have made those travels almost to non-existent too. As an example, not all of you guys this will be the case, but some of you might have experienced that if you've been like traveling, avid travelers before, but Saturn, when it was in your third house, it made it sort of not traveling for you life. Now, Uranus, let's talk about another slow moving planet which will change signs 7th of July. And Uranus is planet of electricity and also planet of shocking situations. And it's sort of I call it roller coaster, like always up and down, up and down. You never know what Uranus brings, and it's moving into your sixth house. Now, sixth house is all about work. And again, Uranus will show you what it will be bringing in the next 7 years, because Uranus takes 7 years in one part of your life. Now, it will be back 2026 in April, but it will retrograde, like move backwards into where it was for the past 7 years, which is your fifth house. Now, let's talk about the sixth house, what it might bring. Now, from July until November, you might take notes, actually, what Uranus will be bringing. Now, sixth house is all about work, and here a lot of you guys might actually experience sort of hunger, sort of a desire to diversify your working experience. And in the next 7 years, a lot of you guys might change, let's say, professional areas, not even once, but 2 times, even 3 times. Like, I don't know, for example, let's say today you're a doctor, and then you decided to be in trade, and I don't know, after 2 years, you decided to be a dancer, I don't know, or singer. So, this kind of sudden and shocking things might happen in terms of what you do, how you earn money, like what you work. Or even if you stay all those 7 years, let's say, in one industry and in one company, then it might be about your colleagues and in general your boss, your manager. They might be sort of exerting this kind of character, this kind of behavior when you have such a diverse working environment, let's say, people from all walks of life. You will be working with, I don't know, maybe in some international company where you will see all kinds of people, like different kinds of backgrounds and all this stuff. And the same, your managers will be the same, like a lot of like different managers you might experience, as an example. Now, sixth house is also house of health, and here Uranus might give you ups and downs because it's a roller coaster planet, some sort of shocking situation. So take care if you are, let's say, active sportsman. Try not to extend yourself too much, not to have a surprise as an injury, for example. Or vice versa, it might give you shocking, I don't know, healing from some diseases if you had, or some, I don't know, issues with your well-being. And again, and vice versa, it might give you all of a sudden sort of some issues with your health. So take good care around like your well-being, your health, your routine. And again, this is about daily life, like sixth house, what you do from morning to night. So, it might give you this sort of also shifts kind of life, like working at night, working at the daytime, different times. But try to stay like consistent. That's when Uranus will be more manageable. Now, for the past, and it will be your topic for the next 7 years, my dear Capricorns. For the past 7 years, it was in your um and plus Uranus rules, money house, your earning house, and seems like it's going into your house of work. Anyhow, you guys will be changing. Seems like for me, it's like you might be changing quite a lot where you work, like areas where you work. Like only rare of you guys who will stay in one place with this Uranus in your sixth house for the next 7 years. Now, Uranus was for the past 7 years in your fifth house since 2018, 2019. Now, for the past 7 years, fifth house was full of dating experiences, different dating experiences, because fifth house is all about romance, is all about flirting, falling in love, and here it might have given you all kinds of experiences possible. Like, and Uranus loves this kind of, attracting different people, like especially eccentric people, like not like anyone else kind of people, not like similar with someone else. This kind of people might have been like a lot in your life. Let's say, like you had a colorful, let's say, dating experiences since like last 7 years, if that was your case. And for some of you, it might have been that you met someone and stayed so long, but that person was a sort of how to say, very very different than you, maybe speaking different language, or in general from different background, sort of very different, let's say, characters, not similar, but somehow you managed to stay with that person, as an example. Now, some of you guys, it might have been not about love, it might have been about business. You might have tried all sorts of businesses, like opening, I don't know, toy shops, I don't know, for kids, and then maybe you tried social media, and that wasn't, like, even if they were all successful, you just kept trying, because it seems like Uranus was giving you this sort of desire to try out. Uranus is this kind of planet when it ignites, and it's always something different, it's always something colorful, not the same as before, sort of thing. You might have also tried all these things, or you might also have now quite a lot of businesses, like where you generate income streams, for example. Now, fifth house is also house of kids. I won't be surprised if you guys, like quite a lot of you guys, found out that you're pregnant in the last 7 years, and like you've given a birth, for example, about your kids, because fifth house is all about kids and children, and those things happen suddenly, like in a shocking way, where you haven't expected this. As an example, could have been this way too. And for some of you guys, it was through in vitro, because Uranus is all about non-traditional ways. So it could have been, even if you've been planning, then it might have been through a non-traditional way, having a kid. Also adoption. Now, let's talk about Pluto. Pluto will move into your financial house. One of the important transits, for you, because Pluto takes 20 years. Now, next 20 years, it will be in your house of money that you earn. Now, this is very good news for you guys, because Pluto is about money, but it's about huge money. It's about millions. It's not about small salary, but it's like, I don't know, random salary, but this is like huge money, like a fortune. And you're lucky because Pluto is entering your earning house. A lot of you guys, after, by the end of those 20 years, if you will be in higher places in the society who earns a lot and who are like millionaires and billionaires, I wouldn't be surprised, because Pluto will give you plenty of chances to earn for yourself a name and huge fortune, and also great work experience and all this, like, position and title, all these things. Now, 2025 will be influential for those who have like planets or any placements from 0 to 3 degrees of your sign or Aquarius. So if you have anything that is from 0 to 3 degrees, actually of any sign, then you will be affected the most by this Pluto, my dear Capricorns, and especially if you have in your own sign. So that means very beginning of Capricorns who are born of the Capricorn season, you will be feeling this Pluto right from the get-go. And you will be the lucky ones who might get these kind of chances to earn more and substantially more, and to get in, like, to good positions, to become CEO or manager, this kind of, because Pluto also rules your 11th house. Now, 11th house is all about wishes, and Capricorns, you as Capricorns, you It's more about social status. It's more about, in general, reputation and career ladder, and sort of influence, how much influence and power you have. And if that was your wish might be granted through like money that you're going to earn, and through new, I don't know, title or job offer or something which will be very prominent. Let's talk about personal planets. Personal planets, they will all retrograde, as I said: Venus, Mars, Jupiter, and Mercury. Now, Mercury, of course, it retrogrades 3 times per year. But let's talk about Venus. Now, Venus in 2025, it retrogrades because it retrogrades every a year and a half, roughly speaking. Now, when Venus retrogrades, because it's a planet of love and beauty, it's not advisable to get married or to do plastic surgery. So you should write down the dates. From 2nd March until April 13, Venus will retrograde for 40 days and nights. So survive those 40 days. Don't plan spring weddings because Venus is planet of love. All things might go wrong within your marriage. And the same with plastic surgeries. It's a beauty planet. You will not definitely like the result, my dear Capricorns. Stay away from plastic surgeries from 2nd of March until April 13. Now, we all love Venus in our sign because it's the moment when we shine like a stars. It's the moment when we attractive, and we feel ourselves beautiful. And plus, we have magical skill to convince anyone into anything. And it's the period for you will be from December 24th until January next year, 2026. This is amazing. It's a festive period. Seems like you will be the star who everyone will lock the eyes on, sort of you will be attractive around that time. Now, Venus in 7th house, I also would like to mention because we enjoy love when Venus in the 7th house. Now, July 31st until August 25th will be your time to enjoy love from your one and only. If you're married, especially, like within your marriage, everything will be perfect there, like feeling love from your spouse. And if you're not, then this is a special moment, seems like, to meet someone or to take your relationship a step further here. Now, Mars will have unusual behavior in 2025 already since 2024 because it's retrograding too, and it will just focus on 2 areas of your life. Since September 2024 until June 2025, you see how long, almost a year. Seems like universe telling you to focus and do things within those 2 areas of your life. And for you, it will be 7th house from January until April. Now, 7th house is all about marriage, is all about love. Seems like you will be quite active from January until April, maybe thinking or maybe actually doing some activities with your long-term partner. This is only for those of you guys who has partner already a long time, or like taking your relationship a step further. Maybe you are preparing for a wedding, as an example, like getting ready. Mars is planet of activities, it gives a lot of actions there around your marriage. But for some of you, it might be not about love and marriage. It might be about business too, because 7th house is all about relationship with other people that we make some contracts with. And you might get busy with paperwork, like signing papers. Could be that too. Now, and also lawsuits here. 7th house is about lawsuits too. And from April until June will be more better time because Mars will be direct, full force, showering your 8th house. Now, 8th house is all about money, is all about investments. It's also about sex, and Mars is a sexual planet. You might get quite active within your intimate life, let's say. From April until June, you will have amazing experiences. Also, 8th house is about health. Some of you guys might get a surgery because Mars is things that are sharp. It rules things that are sharp, plus medical knives too, like surgical knives. And some of you might go under surgery too here. Doesn't matter if it's serious or something which is like a plastic surgery or medical procedure and a beauty procedure. You might be quite busy there from April until June. 8th house is also a house of conception, and here you might get busy with in vitro specifically too. Or you might actually happen to give birth around from April until June, my dear Capricorns. And also 8th house is all about money, as I said. It's about investments, inheritance, your tax return situation, or bank loans. If you're a student, then it's about your scholarship. You will get busy with applying to that scholarship, or dealing with paperwork or communication there about your scholarship. And alimony. let's say, if you that's your situation. Now I'd like to mention a couple of days which will be important. 23rd of February, we have Neptune conjunct North Node, which is rare aspect. And last time this happened was 16th century. Can you imagine how long ago this happened? And it will happen in your third house. Now, this is once in a lifetime experience, my dear Capricorns, and it happens 23rd of February, which is said to be special. Neptune is a magical planet, conjuncting your destiny node in your third house. Seems like you might connect, like communicate with someone special there. And could be through online, or you might find your soulmate, like in a face of as a friend, could be too, not necessarily as a love, but mostly like a friend could be. Could be that someone who you will share like secrets, or something magical might happen in your family, like a brother or sister. If you have siblings, like they will have magical news to share. If you don't, then it's about relatives or neighbors, like it's your inner circle, close circle with whom you communicate with. Now, or it could be about transportation, and in general about any skills. You might excel at some sort of skill, like drawing, I don't know, singing, whatever the skill is, I don't know, coding, writing. Now, 14th of April, we have Saturn making connection with North Node too in your third house. Now, this is also rare. It happened last time in 19th century, 150 years ago. Now, Saturn is a bit sobering planet, right? It's your ruler, my dear Capricorns. Now, around mid of April, you might realize some things around your communication, around your social media, for example, or you might have sort of a situation there with your sibling, if you have them, or with a neighbor. Now, third house is also all about transportation. Here, take good care, actually taking your transport maintenance as an example, because Saturn is sort of construction planet. Now, and the last one, September 4th, we have Jupiter making perfect alignment with North Node, again, destiny node, and it's about love gonna be, because Jupiter is about luck and happiness, and it will be in your seventh house of marriage and committed love partnerships, which will make a sort of connection, send amazing beam to that destiny node in your third house. Around fall of 2025, you might actually meet your one and only. You might start communicating, like most probably over online or over, I don't know, some language project as an example, or you might start learning together language and you might meet there, and could be somewhere possibly very far. Let's say you traveled somewhere and you met there, a special one for you, who will become your one and only in the long run, my dear Capricorn. This will be magical. Anyhow, September, as I said, is a magical month of 2025. Now, don't forget to check your rising sign, because rising sign is the most influential. For some of you guys, it might be sun sign, and some of you moon sign, but still check all three and compare which one is influential the most in your case. Now, I wish you happy new year, my dear Capricorns. Best year possible. Love you all. Bye-bye.